give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for pushing this truth. This is Iquab, son of Sid Jr., son of Sid Sr. I'm not in GMS, I gotta say that. So just because you might hear double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, just because somebody says that doesn't mean they're in GMS. But they're the only ones that have the correct doctrine, so they're the only ones out here teaching that have been enduring, that deserve any honor, and according to the scriptures, double honors, because they are worthy. The book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 14. Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son. But Amos was a prophet. Okay, that's why the book is called the Book of Amos. And he also prophesied the destruction of Babylon the Great. So all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Makakodash for the prophet Amos. The book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 14. Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was an herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. So today, I just started thinking about the Gentiles. Today, we, the lost sheep of Israel, who are the only Gentiles that can be, that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai died on the cross for, we didn't know anything about prophets. We didn't even know anything about herdmen, but we know about getting a job. Okay, so the prophet Amos said, look, all I do is go to work. I'm not no prophet, man. And I'm not the child of a prophet. So what is this you talking about? Verse 15, and the Lord took me as I followed the flock. And the reason why I'm bringing this out is because this, it jumped out when I just opened the book. I didn't want to quench the spirit, so I'm out here when I just got off the book. Now, it jumped out when I opened the book. And I said to myself, I said, in today's time, we are followers. Salaki. The book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 15. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock. And the Lord said unto me, go prophesy unto my people. Now, you can consider, let's say Kyrie Irving and Ye is part of the flock. Okay, and people are following the flock of Kanye and Ye, or following the flock of the Watchmen for Israel. I love those brothers. I want them to make it. I want them to get the correct doctrine. I want them to make it. IUIC, I don't care if you do. ISUPK, I don't care if you do. Some people in HOI, I want you to make it. I want everybody to goddamn make it, man. But especially those that I congregated with and damn, man. Damn. The book of Amos, chapter 7, I want to make it. I should say, damn for you, I hope I make it. The book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 15. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock. I followed the flock. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai took me. As it did Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakar, Elder Apostle Ramla, Elder Apostle Manata Zakbai. I wanted to say the other one because there's two of them and they sound similar. I wanted to give them both their flowers. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai took us as we followed the flock. Could have been the flock of this world. He took us. And as we followed the flock in his truth, Yahweh Shem Yahushua took us. Because it's easy to get lost in this world and in this world. In this world, it's easy to get lost without the scriptures. You're lost. And it's easy to get lost in this truth. So verse 16, no, let me read 15 again. Slaki, I'm gonna start at 14 again. The book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 14. Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was an herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. So Amos was called and chosen. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock, and the Lord said unto me, go prophesy unto my people Israel. So Amos went from a follower of the flock into a shepherd of the flock. Now, whether the sheep listen or not, the record is in here. I was going to say that's debatable, but it's not. The record's in here. They didn't. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua still chose Amos to go from following the flock to prophesying unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. When I say following the flock, I don't want to lose everybody or try to sound too deep. I just have a habit of trying to make sure that I'm understood or overstood the way I keep fucking rambling. But the book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 16. Now therefore, hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac. Therefore, thus said the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. The seed of Amalek does not fit that prophecy. The people that's in the land of the 12 tribes of Israel do not have that story. But certain celebrities, certain rich men, whether they speak on it or not, found out that they have. And Esau, it's the end of your world. It's the end of your world, Esau. Google would have had me there by now. It's lucky. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid. God damn, Hawaii. With Jerusalem. Before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. How many angels? Innumerable. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. Yasha'Allah, we have hope. There's an innumerable amount of angels. And Yahweh Shai is coming back. In the chariot of the Lord. With the archangel Michael. And innumerable angels. ready, eager, willing, and waiting to do the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and save the 144,000 elect and the innumerable multitude of men, women, and children that believe in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And don't back talk and talk, well, I think, well, maybe, or I don't think that. Well, guess what? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai made you think like that because he don't fuck with you right now. And he wants you to continue to suffer. While me, I'm going to continue to suffer and have hope because it seems like Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai thinks I'm okay. I mean, not okay, but he'll just teach him a little bit. Teach him a little bit. You can teach him. Just teach him. That's what's going on with me. Just teach him. Just teach him. Just teach him. So Barak Yahweh Shai. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 4. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, or ever the movable powers were, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Sion were hot, and ere the present years was sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Call Halorim Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Call Halorim Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 5. And ere the present years was sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned. Who are the inventions of them that now sin? So the angel was talking to Ezra, telling him the future. The inventions of them that now sin. Before all of that came to pass, it was all declared. It was all foretold. So we're just watching the movie play out. And it's just like one of the elders, apostles, said. He said, imagine going to the movie theater. You know exactly what's going to happen. It's the worst movie ever. It's horrific. You actually got to play in the movie, but you know what's going to happen, and everybody else doesn't. Do you know how they're going to act when scene goes by scene? This scene happens, this scene happens, this scene happens. No wonder so many people are going to give up the ghost. But you know what's happened because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai gave you the sneak peek. You got to go to the pre-release before it got released to the public. It's a blessing. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 5. And ere the present years was sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned before, and there's always been sin, but the sins have been multiplied. There was sin in Ezra's time. The sinning now is multiplied more than ever before. And or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure, the elect. Before the elect were sealed that gathered faith for a treasure. Faith in what? Faith in the word. Faith in the word of what? Faith in the word of Yahweh and the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And faith in the word of the men that teach it, because it's not them. It's not their info. They didn't just sit down and come up with, hey, I'm the guy that came up with this. Hey, all three of us can only come up with it and everybody else got to listen. No. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Gave who he wanted to give based off their measure of faith, their level of understanding. And the letters got sent out, just like in ancient times. Via the unicorn, the internet. And by the foolishness of preaching and teaching on the streets. Whether anybody hears it forbids.
Well, first he was very kind.
Verse 7, verse 6. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, Verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai said, I started this, I ordained this to start, and I ordained it to end. Verse 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Saying, when is it going to go from before Christ to after death? Type, if give you an example. When is going to be the parting asunder of times? For an example will be, when is it going to go from AM to PM? When is it going to go from breakfast to dinner time? When is it going to go from post meridian to after meridian? From before Christ to after Christ? Before death to after death, or whatever the fuck they're BCE, before common era to after common era. When is going to be the parting asunder of times? The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the beginning, for Esau is the beginning of top-notch wickedness. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. So who is Esau and who is Jacob? Since Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. So it's going to be two different worlds. You have Esau. Esau is going to be the end of the world as we know it, and Jacob is going to be the beginning of the world. Jacob is going to be, I don't want to say it in my words. I want to say how the angel said it. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. So right after Esau's world ends, Jacob's world begins following Esau's fall. So who is Esau and who is Jacob? You got to go back to Genesis. Chapter 25, verse 25. Go up a little bit. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, our forefather. Abraham's son, our forefather's forefather. Abraham begat Isaac, so the soul of Isaac came from Abraham. I just got disgusted by women just saying that out loud. Cause I'm like, damn, you got all these different souls that done been on your face, and all these different souls that's been in your body, and you done swallowed souls, and god damn, that woman is disgusting, man. Fuck, man. Damn. You got so many souls. And when I talk about women, this is why I talk about women. I don't talk about women because I like you, I want you, or I don't like you, or don't want you. I talk about women because if the Achaim and Great Millstone did not give their testimonies on what they was going through with their evil, they didn't know I was going through the same thing they was going through. They didn't know what the hell I was going through. I wouldn't know what the hell they was going through. But because they testified, I was able to go through it with somebody else and not alone. And not only go through it, but go through it backed by scripture. And I needed that, man. I would not have made it without it. And maybe some other people might not have made it without it. You know what I'm saying, man? So the reason why I talk about women and it's because of my experience within these past 3 years dealing with the scriptures specifically. Now, of course, we had experience before that we can apply the scriptures as well. But when you come into this, to the knowledge of who we are, or Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, or both, you're gonna make hella mistakes. You need to hear testimonies. So don't take my women talk as anything else but a testimony. It's not advice, it's just a testimony. That way you know what the hell is going on. Because you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through it with your mother. You're gonna go through it with every goddamn body, man. Especially the women. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. So Isaac's soul came from the loins of Abraham. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Okay, so Rebekah was the Syrian. Okay, she wasn't an Israelite. So we don't need an Israelite woman to keep the Israelites going, to keep the souls, to keep the souls of the Israelites here. We don't need you women, and it's just testimony. It's for the brothers to know. I ain't talking about y'all. I ain't even talking to y'all. Y'all ain't even here, because you should be listening to your goddamn, whoever dick you whoever penetrates you, that's who the fuck you need to be listening to and getting your advice from, and not listening to nobody else. The fuck is you doing listening to anybody else and you got this man penetrating you? So, the book of Genesis chapter, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not with that. I'm not saying that because that's how I feel. It's against the scriptures. It's the story of Adam and Eve. She should have been running off, climbing up other trees, swinging on their branches, eating up all their fruit. So, the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac didn't wife no 40-year-old woman, even though he was 40. He's not going around looking for 40-year-old women to start a family. You know what I'm saying? He had a younger woman. And she wasn't an Israelite, because the souls of Israelites come from the men. So whose souls are you swallowing and having all on your goddamn face? God damn. What nations are they? You don't even know. You got Edomite souls all in you, Edomite souls all in your face. God damn, man. Think about that, brothers. These women is, yo, brother, this is your woman. This is your woman. For real. This Sophia, the wisdom, that's your woman. Okay, I almost went to Proverbs. So, the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in the womb. Salakia. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So she has twins in her stomach, brothers. She don't know. It could be boy or girl. She didn't know. But what she did know, because he said 2 nations. So that means the seed line is coming from the men. It means because the men make nations, not the women. The women give birth to the nation. The woman has the man's baby. A man has never had a woman's baby. Okay? Unless he was fucking with a bitch and that wasn't his child, and she said, can you watch my child? And that ain't even her child. The man watched another man's baby. So a man has never had a woman's baby, period. Period. Women have men's babies. So the nation comes from the man. The woman gives birth to a man's nation. Builds the man's nations up. That's why Esau got y'all women jacked up, man. So Jake, not on this side, Jake. Not on this side. And they pocket pussies, they thought pockets, you know what I'm saying? They Trish, you know what I'm saying? They Keisha. Yeah, you heard? Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, unless Yahweh Shem Yahushua puts it on their spirit to lock in on you, which means hopefully they locking in on Yahushua by Shem Yahushua. Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Just enjoy it while if you can enjoy it, and then focus on getting the hell up out of here, man. I'm telling you, man. Focus on getting the hell up out of here. Your children, that's going to be the ultimate test too. You have to forsake your children. The woman's going to buck up, try to usurp authority. That's when you just focus on the scriptures and let Yahweh Shem Yahushua handle it. You just focus on the scriptures because she's going to get judged. Because she's breaking multiple laws of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So you focus on you getting these scriptures, man. That's how you get your money up. The money's in here, your penny. That spiritual treasure, man. Esau money is devaluing so much, yo. This value never decreases, man. You can never learn enough. That's why I can't catch up. 50 laps behind and they still running. How the fuck I'm gonna catch up, man? Call Loyam Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people should be separated from thy bowels. And the one people should be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua wanted our foremothers to know that she was giving birth to 2 sons, but they're not going to be cool with each other. They're not going to be alike. They're going to be completely different, and they're going to be separate. They're not going to be together. Now I want to keep reading on so much because if you read on to this very day, we have the spirit of our father and they have the spirit of theirs, because they don't want to be cool with us and they don't like us, man. But for some reason we want to be cool with them, and like, I ain't even gonna say we like them, but like we just want to be cool with them, man. But they don't want to be cool with us, man. They just, yo, look like a caveman, yo. Son had the long hair and all that shit. This shit look crazy, man. Shit look dumb crazy. So the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Remember 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9? And his hand took hold of Esau's heel. Precept should be upon precept. That's how you know that the Bible's not lying, or this prophet ain't going up and making up his own thing. It's all supposed to link up. So 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, and the book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 26. Both say the same thing. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So it took him 20 years of knocking grandma down for him to get these 2 boys. Okay, he was 40 when he wifed her, and he was 60 when she gave birth. So, and after that, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. So who has hunting season? Who goes to Africa and poaches? Who goes everywhere and just hunts, man? Nobody, come on, man. Esau, the red man. He came out red all over like a hairy garment. There's not a white person on the planet. Esau is red. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So granddaddy loved evil Uncle Esau because Esau was hunting, man. Bringing in food. Everybody, come on, you know damn well Jake loved a cookout. We love cookouts. Daddy loved granddaddy. Granddaddy loved cookouts. I'm not saying granddaddy had a cookout. I'm just giving you an example of how we are these people. It's in our soul. Because we came from the loins. It's in our blood. It's in our spirit. And it's in their spirit. That's why a lot of people about to die a horrible death. Didn't I just read Esau is a cunning hunter? Cunning hunter. He's hunting you through his medical sorcery. He's hunting you through his laws. He's hunting you through his food. He's hunting you any and every possible way he can. He's a cunning hunter. He's a cunning hunter. That's what he do. You are being hunted. Look at the movies he make. Like the Ak was talking the other night. Why do you think he make all these blood movies with blood everywhere and all this death and somebody gotta die and Jason hunting somebody and Freddy hunting somebody and the pirate going and hunting treasures and always gotta hunt something down. He's a cunning hunter, as it is written. So the book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man. He ain't with all that hunting and all that extra craziness. I mean, yeah, we gonna get food, but you taking it a little too far, man. God damn. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Jacob just sit up in the crib or hang out close by the tent, man. We don't gotta do too much. As long as we got everything we need in our tent, we good. Step out the tent, come back to the tent. We ain't outside all goddamn day hunting in the field and climbing up the goddamn mountain. The book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So he was exhausted. He was hungry, he was hunting, he was climbing mountains. he was doing what he do. It was skydiving, I don't know, squirrel shooting. Esau crazy, man. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. He didn't even want the food to get cooked all the way, yo. The pottage was red because it was bloody, man. Jacob probably looked at him like, what the fuck? You want to eat this that bad? I'm going to see how bad you really want to eat this. You want some of your birthright? He did it? I can't believe it. This was nasty. Hey, yo, I can just imagine that shit. I can just imagine what Daddy was saying, and thinking. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I'm faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. So Esau is Edom. The Edomites. Okay, this is very important to know. The Edomites are the end of the world. The Israelites are the beginning of it that follow it. And that's the time we're coming into now. We're coming into the end of the world. Okay, the end of the world. So, the second book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 42. I answered then and said, if I have found grace, let me speak. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up. What does a husbandman mean then? A husbandman. If the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it cometh not up. See, a lot of you women had husbands, but the seed perished, it didn't come up. All that goddamn, all them souls that's been inside your body. Think about this shit, Jake. All them souls that's been inside these women's bodies. The seed didn't come up. But what does the husbandman do? Look this shit up. The husbandman plants seeds. That's husbandry. That's how you become a husband. That's why if your wife ain't giving you none, you're allowed to get a divorce. Because technically, if you're not having sex, the marriage is over. Because sex consummates, validates, and makes the marriage official. No sex, no marriage. Divorce. And the bitch won't get shit. Esau ain't playing that shit. He said, you gonna give me some goddamn pussy, or we ain't getting married, or we getting a divorce. You ain't getting shit. So, the second book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 43. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up, and receive not thy rain in due season. So, just as it is, when the seed is planted on the earth, if it doesn't grow, even if it gets the rain, Yahweh Shem outside makes it grow. It's the same thing with the spirit world and coming back onto the earth. The souls of the loin come from the man, get through husbandry, through the act of husbandry, which is sex, which is marriage. Through the act of husbandry, the soul of the man goes into the woman. Now they're married, according to the scripture. Fuck how you feel. If you feel any different way, get the fuck off the goddamn, go watch TikTok, bitch. Nigga. We dealing with the scriptures here. Not how the fuck you feel. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up, and receive not that rain in due season. See, the reason why the hopeful elect, the 2/3 of all these other nations are here to be judged is because the husbandman's seed did not perish when our mothers got penetrated. So now we're all here to see what the fuck about to happen next. So who? Or if there come too much rain and corrupt it. So the seed could be planted just like as this knowledge. That made me think of the parable of the seed on the stony ground, the high ground. It's a scooter somewhere making noise. Shit throwing me off. I know what it is. Now it's a scooter. That shit throwing me off. All right, so the seed has been planted for this truth, and we're seeing this with these celebrities because they're rich. So how can you sound dumb, look dumb, be dumb if you're rich? I don't get it. I don't get it. So this scripture explains it. So now I get it. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is the husbandman. Okay? This information is the seed. This truth is the seed. Just because you get it, don't mean you get to keep it. Just because you get it, don't even really mean you have it. It's like you know, when you playing football and you catch and you the ball touch your hand, but you don't catch it. You had it because the shit touched your hand. You had it. You might have dove, did a move in the air, all that shit. You had it, but then it slipped through your fingers. And you don't have it till you grab it and tuck it in. But guess what? You still got to get past through that red zone. Ooh, red zone. Esau. You still got to get through that red zone. Because Esau has nothing but swords throwing at you. People holding them, waiting for you to come and jab you with it. It made me think of that one movie. It made me think of, it's like, what was that Friday, that next Friday, when Mike Epps dressed up as that old man with the shotgun, and they was running through the house, and when they went into that one house with the killers, and they was hitting them with the pool stick, and boom, boom, boom. That's how Esau got it set up for you. You think you trying to go and get away. You think you running down the field with the truth in you, but you still got to get to that red zone. That's that house. And then once you get inside that house, boom, 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 swords just hitting you from everywhere. You have to get to that touchdown. You got to score a touchdown. You got to get the fuck out of here. You're going to die in the house of Esau. You're going to die in that red zone. The second book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 43. Read it again. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the husbandman. The truth is the seed. It could be on stony ground and it could be on good ground, stony ground. If it come not up and receive not thy rain in due season. You gotta get the rain. You got to water this truth. You gotta stay in this book. You gotta stay on you gotta stay on the comment board looking at those precepts going up. You gotta stay on the channels. Oh yeah. Esau. Let me check you real quick. And let me let the brethren know something. First of all, Esau. Ever since your little YouTube update, even before then, but ever since the YouTube update, shadow banning is an understatement. It's no way in hell I'm not seeing all of these pages no more. It's no way in hell that people are uploading pages that I'm subscribed to and I'm not seeing them at all. Like at all. None of their videos for months. I seen one video, I was like, damn, I ain't seen him since February. Where he been at? And it is against the rules not to teach. So I know he teaching. Where he been? I was like, damn, Esau that bad? When I seen it February, when I seen the brother I ain't seen since February, I was like, damn, I ain't heard your voice, seen your face in that long. Damn, Esau. Listen, one thing I learned, Esau, you could try to shake and bake all the channels you want from coming through my page. I learned a long time ago. The first day I chose not to listen to that brother, that Gadite brother with the soft sweet. When I say sweet, I don't mean like girly. I mean sweet as in brotherly. When that soft brotherly and still not to be fucked with voice, I hate to see him mad. But like he said, every time somebody do him wrong, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gets them back fast. And he always has the incense and the Indian music, not Indian music, and the Gadite music. And the Gadite music playing in the background. When the day I scrolled past that brother, and I said, no. If he's on the timeline, it's gotta be for a reason. Let me just scroll and see. And I listened to him and I was like, yo, I'm never, ever scrolling past anybody because of how they look again. Not like he looked wrong, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch him. What? Not gonna watch him. You're not watching him. You're listening to the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The fuck? But see, that's how it is when you don't know no better, you're not gonna do no better. So that is another example of why I have to give certain testimonies, everybody's like, what the fuck is he talking about this shit for? Because, yo, you gotta know. You gotta hear from somebody. You gotta hear. The second book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 44. Even so perisheth man. Oh, no, let me read 43 again. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth if it come not up and receive not thy rain in due season, or if there come too much rain and corrupt it, even so perisheth man also. See? You see? You see? The Lord of the universe, the Lord of everything, said, listen, you'll be dried up and shriveled just like these goddamn trees and plants out here. You can plant you all the weed plants you want, all the apple trees you want, whatever you want to plant, whatever plants you care about, you can plant it all you want, and it ain't gonna come up. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, even so perisheth man also, which is formed with thy hands, and is called thine own image, because thou art like unto him. For whose sake thou hast made all things, and likened him unto the husbandman's seed. I'm about to read that again and go to Daniel chapter 7. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 44. Even so perisheth man also, which is formed with thy hands. So we was formed by the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And it's called thine own image. So we are the image of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because thou art like unto him. So we are like unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua because we are. I mean, our righteousness is as filthy rags, but the other nations have no righteousness. We actually have righteousness. It's just filthy. The other nations have no righteousness. I mean, Salaki, the other nations are unrighteous. Because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things. Yahweh Shem Yahushua made all things for our sake. He made a promise to our fathers. And he has to keep his word so that he can keep his glory in everybody's mind and on everybody's heart. And liken him unto the husbandman, lock it. We don't hear the word husband enough. And liken him unto the husbandman's seed. Be not wroth with us, but spare thy people, and have mercy upon thine own inheritance, for thou art merciful unto thy creature. I'm gonna slide this. Shut up the book and seal it to the end. This looks like. Try to look behind me through the phone so I wouldn't turn my head back. Try to be slick with it. Damn, I'm not flip from Ezra, man. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Yahweh is the Ancient of Days. He is ancient 2 days. He's ancient. He's the Ancient of Days. He has no beginning. Don't try to figure it out. That's why when I say make statements like, what is life? Who knows? Like, what is Yahweh's life? Who knows? We don't understand life because There's stuff above our pay grade. But we understand the life that we are in now and why. We understand this life, not life. That's a whole nother pay grade. Because then you got to explain to me how. So, I just thought it's about, don't be simple, Israel. Yeah, we do know the meaning of life. This life. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. That means he's pure. Pure. It's not black. White has a definition. God damn, let me reach one. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, it's cold. The book of Daniel. the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast till I'm laughing to myself. Because I'm like, okay, I gotta get ready. I gotta do it. Gotta endure. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. And the hair, what? Hair. Yes, hair. And the hair of his head, what? Head. Yes, head. He has a body. And the hair of his head like the pure wool. Not like no goddamn relaxing perm or no goddamn Jesus juice picture. First of all, white Jesus in America's Christian belief, white Jesus, Holy Spirit, God, Trinity, three, same in one, blah, 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 right? Okay, boom. The Bible just said in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, that the Lord, matter of fact, if I read, God damn, I just want to go down to 14. So look, the Bible's some bullshit. I mean, the Christian Bible, the church Bible is some bullshit. The way the church flips the Bible is some bullshit. Salaki, slip of the tongue. I never really think, I just speak when I cut on the mic. Now, the scripture said he had hair like wool. Woolly hair. Not hair like horsetail. Sitting there and said hair like horsetail. Hair like a bear. Said hair like wool. Hair like sheep. Now, sheep have thick hair. It's thick. You can't just run a straight comb through a sheep's hair. Matter of fact, they have to use clippers just to cut it off. How do we have to cut our hair off? Clippers. It's cold. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. I'm gonna go down to 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. So this is Yahushua coming in the chariots, the clouds of heaven, the chariots, and came to the Ancient of Days. So Yahushua, the Son of Man, came to Yahweh, the Ancient of Days. So that Trinity is just, come on, man. Go get your money back, man. Go to the church. Yo, pastor, man. Yo, pastor, man. I need some of that money back, man. I'm joking. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory. Who was given dominion and glory? Yahushua, the Son of Man, by who? The Ancient of Days, Yahweh. It's right here in the book. That he was given dominion and glory and a kingdom. on earth, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. And that's what we're seeking for. We're seeking for the promise. We're seeking for the promise. No, I was at 8 now. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 45. Until that day comes, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, be not wroth with us, but spare thy people, the elect. That's who's going to get spared. And have mercy upon thine own inheritance. Israel, Jacob is Yahweh Shem Yahushai's inheritance. For thou art merciful unto thy creature. Then answered he me and said, things present are for the present, and things to cometh for such as be to come. For thou comest far short that thou shouldst be able to love my creature more than I. So we can never love the 12 tribes more than Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Fuck. Slacky, y'all, slacky. I'm not going crazy. It's bushes and everything behind me. I can't really see everything. I should turn it around. When I stop it, I'll turn around so you can see. Like, it's hard for me to tell where the fuck the Lord is coming from. Yeah. That's weird. The fuck? All right, slack. The second book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 46. Then answered he me and said, things present are for the present. Okay? So everything we're dealing with right now is for right now. And the things to come are for the things to come. So we can get our salvation. And so we can get judged as a nation. And so the other nations can get judged as well. Just like it. For thou comest far short that thou shouldst be able to love my creature more than I. But I have oft times drawn nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. Never to the unrighteous. Let me read that again. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 47. For thou comest far short that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. So, just imagine how Yahweh Shem Yahushai feels about the elect, because, boy, they're really the only ones I can have love for, is the ones that are out here really teaching in the truth. I don't know what I was trying to say. Teaching and preaching. The fuck? Teaching in the truth. Teaching the truth. I guess I can't think when I'm cold. It's like slack it. Nah, I'm just getting off work and I'm hungry and I'm tired. I'm not tired, but you know how it is when you're sleepy. I only slept like 3 or 4 hours last night. For thou comest far short that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. So nobody loves the 12 tribes of Israel more than Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It don't matter what the fuck you feel, Esau. We are loved. Okay, we are loved. So you fucking up, man. But I have oft times drawn nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. The doors of mercy are closing. The doors of mercy are closing. This ain't no goddamn Christian church. I'm not about to call nobody to come get baptized. Okay? Every time you hear the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you're being baptized. Every time that book opens and you read it, you're being baptized if you can understand what it's saying. So Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kakadash. For this opportunity to be washed in the word. Shalom, Yahweh. Oh yeah, let me turn this shit around. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? I thought it might have been coming from the phone. Cause I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I had to try to find a spot to set my phone up at, cause my little stand broke. My little stand on my phone thing broke. But shalom, shalom.